This is a short video in the New World Order 2035 explanation series. This one is for control only, not players, and is about what Science Control have in their box of wonders. Here is the Science Control box. This is what you'll start the day with, and we'll go through the components that you have charge of. At the same time, we'll talk a little bit about science in general. So in your box, all manner of wonders. You have a copy of the printed copy of the science guide, which hopefully you will have read before the day. You have a number of counter sets. You have a label for your table, the science table, and you have a whole bunch of counters. These are stuck onto sheets. These very brightly coloured counters are all different technological developments. So as player teams develop new technologies, so we can represent what they have built or what they have developed by counters on the map. If the map gets a bit crowded, we can possibly put some of the counters on their team sheets, but this just illustrates how well a country is doing in terms of the technologies that it's developed. So there's counters for pretty much every technology that can be implemented in the game. The other thing you have, which will be useful, is a text tree, which lays out how all these fit together, but you will have seen that elsewhere, as a picture will have been posted to the Facebook group. You have a small amount of cash. There's not much cash in the science game, so don't worry too much about that. Most importantly, you have a set of research reputation cards. Every time a scientist gets research reputation, they get one of these cards. And obviously the scientist with the most cards is the best scientist, because it's all about reputation. Encourage them to keep these maybe in their top pockets or somewhere, but these should, the idea is that these should be valued by the science players. In essence, what you're doing as Science Control is running a role-playing game about scientists. So this is one of the metrics we use for that. Your control badge, make sure you wear your control badge. And then we have a number of other quite important bits. So each team, as you've seen from the briefing, has a research centre, and there'll be a sheet something like this, and as they develop the capability of their research centre, so they add enhancements which they must buy, and you are the person who sells it to them, and these cards are placed on the sheet in sequence, and you've got the cards for this in your pack. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 and level 5. And this it gets quite expensive, as they will discover. So another part of your job is policing that the research that's being researched at a particular centre has the correct tech level for the card that they're trying to research. And this chart will also have a card representing the scientist. I'll talk about the spare scientist in a moment. So if each player will have a card a bit like this, and they will say, right, I am working on this piece of research in this research centre, which will be in whichever country it's in, and each country has their own research centre developed to the level they want it to be. Similarly, the scientist will be bringing science credits with them, or provided by the country, to contribute to the card. Okay, so let's look at the research cards. All the level 1 research has been handed out to the player team, so the cards I've got here will be level 2 and higher. The other ones that will be in your pack will be level 2 and higher. And so in this case, this is a level 5 research centre, and you are, let's put it so you can see it a bit better. You have a level 5 research centre, which let's look at a level 5 project. Well, here's an interesting one. So this is mind uploading. So in order for this to be completed, there must be 6 science credits. They're going to need a couple more science credits. They need 20 million in cash. It needs to be a level 5 laboratory, and that will be that term's research. And they have to have had the prerequisites. So in this case, the prerequisites are brain chemistry correction and personal avatar projection. So there's some previous level 5, level 4 research. So everything has a precursor. They don't have the precursor, they can't do it. If the country doing the research doesn't have that, they can't do it. So it's a question of matching these things up. In practice, the players usually can self-regulate how this works. So it will sort itself out mostly. You're just checking that things don't go wildly wrong. The other thing you're checking is that people are paying the replication costs. So once these have been developed, you need to make it, and they want to sell that technology. Let's say a country has developed mind uploading with the help of a scientist. They can use it, but other countries can only use it if they've paid the replication cost, which for a high level project like this is quite a lot. I think it's about 16 million, something like that. So you just need to be aware of that and to make sure that your scientists, when they wish to replicate something, they come to you, and then you can keep a record of it. The other things in your pack, there's some more advanced technology. So advanced orbital stations, if they should get built, you've got map counters for those. And you have an envelope of the all-important science awards. So there's all of the awards that the players can win are represented in cards here, which you fill in who's won it, and you give it to them with much ceremony and lots of handshaking, and generally speaking explain how brilliant they are as scientific geniuses. Also in your pack are some eccentric geniuses. Your eccentric geniuses are something that we can throw in if the science teams are struggling to get enough science credits together, or things are moving a bit slowly, or it's all getting a bit blocked or a bit delayed. You can offer a eccentric genius. They get an eccentric genius for one turn, and then they wander off again and do something else. And they roll a die for how many science credits you get. So they might be absolutely great, and they might be a bit useless. And so you've got 4 eccentric scientists who may or may not help. But don't let them keep them, and don't deploy the eccentric geniuses unless we think things are going a bit too slow. You check in with game control if you're not sure. So those are your bits, just so you know what you have in your pack. Well, good luck on the day.